So I'm here with Deb Anderson, Deputy Director, Project Harmony Child Advocacy Center. Deb, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Project Harmony, what an important organization that makes such an impact for so many families and also children in the community. So let's just talk a little bit about Project Harmony and who they are and what the mission is.
Project Harmony is a child advocacy center. We're one of 7 in Nebraska, and really now in the movement across the nation, there's over 850 centers like ours.
Wow.
Our goal is to collaborate with other professionals to make sure that child abuse investigations are coordinated well and that everybody involved, law enforcement, child protective services, medical professionals, mental health therapists, all come together and work collaboratively to serve children and families.
So how long has Project Harmony been around? Is it 20 years?
A little over 1996, so it's 23 years.
23 years, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why is Project Harmony needed? I mean, let's just dive a little bit more into that piece.
Well, before there was a Project Harmony, when you think about the number of different people that children are involved with, if they have been abused or neglected, typically they would tell a teacher, and you would have a lot of different people in the school system that would be interviewing the child about what happened to them. So a teacher, a counselor, a school social worker, a principal, and then they would call a police officer who would then do an interview as well. And then they would take them to the hospital, the child would be interviewed again, and this would go throughout the entire process that it wouldn't be unusual for a child to be interviewed 10, 12, 15 times.
That's traumatic in itself.
Very traumatic. And as you can imagine, the child's story, when they're being asked to tell the same story over and over again, it can change.
Yeah.
So it became difficult to prosecute those cases because the inconsistency in a story. So the purpose of Project Harmony is to bring all of those people together in one place. It's sort of a one-stop shop for child abuse and neglect, and the child now tells their story to one person, and the professionals that need to hear it are all in the same room hearing it.
So explain, some of the services, because that's like one piece of it.
Yes.
There's a lot of legs to this.
Yes.
So talk about that a little bit.
All right. Project Harmony has changed over the years. Several years ago, we made a decision, our board made a decision with our leadership that we wanted to prevent child abuse, not just react to it after it happened. Yeah. So we've gotten big into prevention, and we have a program now that is it's called Connections. It's a school mental health program where school districts refer children to us who have not been abused or neglected but may have some mental health concerns, and we then match them with therapists in the community. And now we're serving about 1,800 children a year in that program.
Wow.
It's had a tremendous impact, and we continually see more need where schools reach out and say, please come into our district and help us. So we're doing that program. We're also doing a program for missing youth. So children that would run away or go missing, the police would pick them up, take them back home, they'd run away again. We realized that those children also needed help and their families needed help. So we're trying to prevent those children from going into the system by finding out what their services are needed. And then we have a program for young infants up to age 5. These are kids who are involved in the child welfare system, but we're trying to get them services as soon as possible to keep them out of that system ultimately. So we're really moving more into a prevention focus than we've ever done before.
Which is really important, because I often ask nonprofits, if you see, is the need expanding, which I feel like, the more population you have to a community and just, what happens in a community, is it the need, or is there that you're actually seeing the need? Because there might have been a need 20, 30 years ago, but nobody was talking about it. So maybe it's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both. And we also have a training department that goes out and trains about child abuse and neglect all over the community, actually all over the country. And so as awareness is raised, we're seeing people more willing to call and make reports of abuse and neglect, where 20, 30 years ago, there was more of a taboo around that.
Yep, absolutely. So who are some of your community partners that you work with?
We work with 5 school districts.
Okay.
So Omaha Public, Millard Public, Bellevue, Papillion, did I say that one already?
You may have, but yeah.
Ralston, so school districts. And then we also work with the police departments
Okay.
in Douglas and Sarpy counties, both the city ones and the sheriff's departments.
Yeah.
We work with them as well in Southwest Iowa, because we serve Southwest Iowa.
Okay.
We work with the Department of Health and Human Services in Nebraska and Iowa. Those are key partners of ours. And then in the Connections program, we have over 80, close to 90 mental health providers in the community that we work
All
with.
right. Such important work. So how can people support you? Where can they go to find out more information?
Our website is www.projectharmony.com, where you can find out everything you need to know about what we do and how you can help. And some of the ways people can help are to attend our events. We have several events a year. Like us on social media. We are on all the different sites. We have our annual fund drive going on right now, so we are encouraging people to contribute because we are a nonprofit raising funds to keep our doors open. And then we also have something called the Be Someone campaign, where we're saying anybody can be someone in the life of a child, and all it takes is 10 seconds to make that call if you think a child is being abused or neglected. So we're asking people to make a pledge to be someone in the life of a child, and then you get a little pin and you can say, I've helped a child.
Yeah. Deb, thank you so much for coming on the show. And again, Project Harmony doing such amazing work and helping so many.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we will be right back.